Hello, guys, and welcome to the fourth episode already of our podcast with me, Milan, and Barney.
Welcome, what's up?
And Barney, I'm just gonna jump straight into it. Are you going on a holiday this year?
All right. What do you think?
I,
What what is your guess?
well, it could
I
still
mean,
happen. It could still happen.
yeah,
I
hopefully.
believe.
Yeah, we plan to go to Croatia actually,
Croatia, nice.
but one of the most exciting thing that I was looking for is actually not a vacation or a holiday, but to go to festivals and hang out with my friends, like party and also I was planning to work on several Hungarian festivals,
Oh, really?
but unfortunately the government stopped events which has more
Yep,
than
yep,
500
yep.
people until August like 15. So it's not
Really?
really gonna happen. So that's a pity.
That's a shame, man. Because in the Netherlands, actually, yesterday, the Prime Minister gave another press conference, and they're actually loosening up a bit over here. In the measures that they have now are until the end of this month. I think the 1st of June they're gonna loosen up a little bit, and they're gonna allow some shops and things to open again, and small gatherings of 100 people, I think, are allowed again then. So they're
Okay,
actually shortly, like quietly loosening up here again.
okay,
But
but still, I think there's a like the strictest one is like September 1st. Like there's also one date which says like until September 1st. It's still
oh
not
yeah,
going to be
true.
the same, I guess.
So you much more
This one.
prefer in the holidays to go to festivals and with friends than actually go to like a nice, warm, sunny place.
No, I mean I prefer both, but in previous years I experienced the holiday that part.
Hmm.
Of course, I was attending like festivals
Yeah.
like in the last 2 years, but this would have been the peak,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there I was planning to go to like four or five and
Jesus.
work on it, and of course after work you can go to party, and
But
obviously
by
you
by
get.
working you mean like bartending or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I
Nice.
would have been a bartender. Just imagine you get like you can go inside for free because you are working there. You get paid, and after your shift you can just go to party,
That's
right?
awesome. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Free tickets, free drinks, and
yeah,
entry. Just
exactly,
work for a
exactly.
bit, make some friends. That's awesome, dude. So,
Yeah.
were there any festivals in particular that you were most hyped for, like the biggest one or something, or a certain
Yeah.
genre of
So
music?
actually, Hungary. I mean, I don't know if I can say that, but it's pretty like well known for its festivals because like in Central Europe, we are bringing like really good what is it, artists and
Oh yeah.
DJs and pop stars, and also people from western part of Europe really like Hungary because it's also really cheap,
Yeah, man, I heard that.
but they also experience those kind of high class artists. So actually, it's a really
So
good
you basically
experience.
get really nice weather, very cheap beer, and really famous artists.
Yes,
Sign me up, man. I'm
and
coming this
beautiful
year.
girls.
I'm coming this year, bro. Yeah, I actually heard that. That friends went to Eastern Europe, Bulgaria as well is very famous. With the cheap prices and the sunny
Yeah,
beaches and stuff. But yeah,
yeah.
Romania as well. That's awesome. But yeah, it's the festival season. It's a big mess. So they're not probably gonna. All the festivals have been canceled and stuff. Have you planned anything else yet, or are you just gonna chill this summer, basically?
No, not really. I mean, this news just hit. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
everybody knew that I mean, most likely it's gonna happen, but they just announced it recently.
That's true.
So
That's true.
I didn't think much about what I'm gonna do. But I mean, I guess we still have the chance to go to Croatia, I guess,
Isn't
because
Croatia like how long of a drive is it for you to go to Croatia?
I mean, it depends. It can be like a few hours, but then you you don't go on the sea
Yeah, true.
to the sea. So mostly where we go is like 7 or 8 hours,
Okay.
which is really far. But
The
That's
thing
where
that
we.
what I noticed the most was like a year ago, I went on a road trip with some friends with a like a big RV with six of us. We went through Europe,
Okay,
and we
that's cool.
actually went to Croatia. And the thing I always notice, what's so funny is the infrastructure and like the topography of the area. Like for example, in the Netherlands, I live in Leeuwarden, and Amsterdam is about what, like 200 kilometers from here, something like that, the capital. And it takes me 1.5 hours to get there. But the only reason it's so fast because the Netherlands is so flat, it's like one straight road directly to Amsterdam, and there's nothing there. And when you
It's
go,
like boring.
yeah, I mean, it is very boring, but it's so fast. And if you go, and once we were in the RV in Croatia, for example, if you want to travel, like for example, 150 kilometers, it would take you so much more time because you had to go around these mountains and up and down, and through these little
And
villages and
tunnels and
and
everything,
tunnels.
right?
Yeah, exactly. And it takes so long to discover this small distance. I mean, not necessarily long, but I'm just a spoiled Dutchman. I'm used to fast lanes and fast roads. And
Yeah, yeah. I can see your point, but yeah.
yeah, Croatia for you, just an 8-hour drive. I mean, that's not too bad, for like a weekend Croatia or something with some friends and get like a
Yeah.
hotel at
I
the
I
beach or
mean, I
something.
mean, when we, I mean, if we put in like 8 hours of drive, we're not gonna stay there for a weekend.
Yeah, I suppose
But
that's
like,
true. That's
yeah,
true.
7 to 10 days, it's reasonable
Hmm.
to do.
Does Hungary have its own coin, or does it use euros?
No, we have our own coin.
What
Yeah,
is it?
it's called forint.
What?
Forint, forint.
Forint.
No, forint,
Forint.
forint. Yeah,
Forint. And how
that's it.
much? How many forints is 1 euro?
So right now, not right now, it's too much. We are like
Really?
hitting record amounts
Nice.
because of this crisis. So this is not the best for us, but it's really good for those people who earn in euros but spend
Yeah,
it in Hungary.
you're.
So
Yeah, that's true for tourists.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
very
so
good
okay,
time
let's
and
answer
stuff.
the question. It right now it's around like 350 to 360.
For 1 euro.
Yes.
Okay.
So of course because of this reason it was really weird for me, when I was going to abroad like
Yeah.
several years ago to like see, I can buy like I don't know something for like 2 euro or like 3 euro and like what?
Yeah, that's true. But
Yeah,
then
so
when you go to Croatia, for because I know in Croatia they have kunas,
yeah, they also have different, yeah.
and how is like the what was your coin called again? Forint?
Forint, yeah.
Forint. How many forints for one kuna? Like is the forint stronger or is the kuna stronger?
I
If
mean,
if
the
you
thing
would
is that I mean, wait, okay, I can um
okay, so let me put it this way: if you were going on holiday to Croatia, would you be rich or would you be poorer?
wait, it's one kuna is like 46 forint. So,
I know that in Kuna, that's what it frustrated me so much. I hate that's just my pet peeve. When you go to countries and the money is like 1 cent. And everything is, for example, expressed in cents. So I know for like kuna, 1 kuna is just the coin. So there's no, how in euros you have euro cents and stuff like that to behind the comma. In kuna you don't really have that. So
okay.
for a piece of bread you would pay like for I don't know the exact amount, but for example like 300 kuna, and in
Yeah.
in euros you would pay like 150 or something like that. So I hate countries that have that because you'd get these insane pricing on some things. Like a TV would be like I don't know 35,000 kuna, while the same TV in the Netherlands would be 300 euros, a much
Yeah, yeah.
smaller number, and
Yeah.
I
So
always have
actually now
trouble.
we're checking and 0.13 is like one Croatian kuna. So
Not too
so
bad.
actually you would so for example, let's say a bread would be like 10 kuna, so it's not too much.
Okay. So funny, man, all these currencies.
Yeah.
So what's like the coolest place you've ever been on a holiday?
Hmm. Let's say
It's
let's
it's
say
it's
uh
difficult
let's say
question.
Dubai. I think I would say
Dubai,
Dubai.
bro,
Dubai
Dubai,
was a really interesting place a few years ago with my parents.
dope, man. I want to go to Dubai. It seems like such a extraordinary little world on its own, Like, it always felt like nothing in the world can touch Dubai. Dubai is just its own thing, and no one can tell it what to do. And you know what I mean? Because it's just so rich in this little bubble of wealth. They can just do whatever they want. Just how they built the largest tower in the world, and they just built the Palm Islands, and they have, what was it, the hotel with how many stars did it have?
7.
7. What hotel in the world has 7 stars? A hotel in Dubai. That's what. Dope, man. Have you seen that hotel? Have you been there?
It's amazing. Yeah, actually,
What?
we all visited all of these sightsees or big buildings.
Oh yeah,
So actually, we had the chance to go to this 7-star hotel and have a breakfast.
bro, you're rich.
Actually, everybody can go there and like buy breakfast there.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think everybody. People with money.
Yeah,
People.
of course, but I mean, at least it's like affordable,
Yeah.
a little bit more than spending a night there.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Do
So
you actually know how much a night there costs? I mean, 7 stars. That's insane. How much would you pay for that?
I think of course it depends on the period or when you are going,
Yeah.
but it's around 1,000 euros. So
Jesus, man.
that's that's
And is
crazy.
that including the breakfast?
I mean, I think hopefully at least for that price.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is that actually, if you go there and rent like a room, you get like a servant for your room.
What, like a butler or something?
Yeah, exactly, like a butler. And the
What the
funny thing
hell?
is that you can actually, so the butler is going to
Hmm.
speak your language. So if you
Any
just go there
language.
from a random country, they're gonna get somebody who speaks your language, and um, you can just say anything to them
Jeez,
like, yeah,
man.
okay, bring this, bring that.
So, what the hell, man? So did you find like a Hungarian, sir, like someone that speaks Hungarian? For example, if you would book a night there, they would just find someone that would speak Hungarian, and you could
I
just,
guess.
sheesh.
And the interesting thing is that actually on the top of this hotel, they have like a helicopter
Hmm.
landing
Of course, why not?
space,
You know,
also like a tennis court.
a
So
tennis court. Like, how many balls do you think flew off the roof and into the and into the sea? You know, the frustrated rich people just batting balls off
actually
the
they
roof.
have like scuba divers, in the water, just collecting tennis
Yeah.
balls all
So,
day.
so what do you do for a living? Oh, I work in the hotel with 7 stars, in Dubai. Oh, cool. What do you do? Are you like in the kitchen? No, no, no. I dive in the water and I find the tennis balls. They throw off the roof. Ah, cool. I mean, it's a good job. Have you also been to the what's it called? The Burj Khalifa, right?
Burj Khalifa,
Yeah, the
yeah.
Burj
So
Khalifa.
one of the, not one of but the biggest
The only biggest
building
tower, yeah.
in the world. It's actually like 820 something meters.
Jesus.
And the thing is that actually, if you want to see the top,
Hmm.
you have to break your neck.
What?
Like, so if you look up
Hmm.
a little bit
Yeah, yeah.
and more, a little bit more,
Oh, okay, I get
and you still
it.
don't see the top.
Yeah. It's almost like looking behind you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jeez.
So
Okay.
it's crazy.
I can't believe like there's videos of people, jumping off that, base jumping and shit.
Yeah, I think somebody even like climbed it
What?
from bottom to the top, I think,
Really?
or something like. Yeah.
Damn. People are crazy, man. Like, why would you do such a thing? I mean, I get it, it's the greatest accomplishment. And I know there's a lot of people, no, a lot of people, there's this group, like free climbers, they climb buildings without any protection gear and just some.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they
Yeah.
did with the Burj
Oh my
Khalifa.
god.
Yeah.
I can't even.
Yeah.
I by just climbing like the stairs at school, I'm already winded and exhausted. How do people climb a 800-meter tall building, man? But yeah, man, Dubai, Dubai, that's cool. So you were there just
Yeah.
on a holiday.
What about you? What was your plans for the summer?
My plans for the summer. Well, for this summer, I was gonna go on my first holiday with my girlfriend. So that was a big hype. We were gonna go to Rhodos in Greece, the island, and
Okay.
I was actually gonna go all inclusive for the first time in my life. So I was really hyped for
That
that.
sounds great.
Yeah, I've always had this double feeling about all inclusive, because I've never had all inclusive before, and I always felt like if you go all inclusive to a resort, you always have this incentive to stick to the resort your entire vacation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Sort
see.
of
I see.
be spoiled in your little castle and your infinite cocktails and never see the country if you sort of, you know what I mean, exaggerated. But and if you don't go all inclusive, you have this incentive to go out into the city and eat at restaurants and taste the culture, sort of kind of thing. But now this year, I thought, you know what? Fuck it. I want to be spoiled. I want to have cocktails at 11 a.m. at the beach, and I want to have room service and infinite food. That I want to consume. I want to be disgusting on holiday and just be fat. So we looked up online, all inclusives, and we got a pretty good deal in Rodos, and we were gonna go there at the end of June for like 11 days, I think, and we were kind of stressing if are we actually gonna be able to go on vacation this year because of Corona, obviously. But now that the Prime Minister in the Netherlands, he said that they were actually going to loosen up a bit, so we're just getting a little bit of hope back, but we're still being
Okay.
cautious. And yeah, I was really hyped for that. I still am, and I still pray that we can go on holiday because I really want it, man. Even though it's basically holiday right now with Corona, sitting at home, just being locked away. It's
Yeah,
a, it's
true.
a sort of a mini holiday, but
Yeah. But
I
for
don't.
example, if you wouldn't have the chance to go, would you get your money back?
We're not sure actually, because I looked at the website and we did have there was a cancellation insurance, which you can get and pay a little bit extra for, but we didn't actually get that because we figured, there must be something really drastic happening before we have to cancel and we can't go.
Why would anything happen?
Exactly. Why would anything happen? So we didn't actually get that, and when the Corona crisis hit the nation, I actually looked up the website to look at their cancellation insurance policy, and the first thing I saw in really big letters above the page was the cancellation does not cover the current COVID crisis. So even if we did
Okay.
get it, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. So because I don't
So
even cover
dangerous.
that in exactly because I don't even cover that in a policy, I doubt we'll get our money back. And even if we could get our money back, I always thought of it this way: they're a massive company, that sells holidays and stuff. They have their own employees, they have their own crisis. So I'm pretty sure that the customers would be the last in line to get their money back. So
Yeah. Yeah.
when if we can't go, I highly doubt we'll get our money back. It would be nice if we could, but shit happens. So I hope we can still go. And
Yeah.
if not,
Hopefully.
I'll just figure something out at home. Build a pillow fort and put down some sand and some inflatable freaking palm trees and make my own cocktails.
Or
We'll make
just
it
go
work.
to Scheveningen
Yeah, I could go there as well. Yeah, to the beach.
and
Have you
eat
actually been
and
there
eat
before?
and eat a breakfast for 700 euros.
Oh, you mean in the like the big building? The what's it called again?
I mean anywhere. I mean
Oh right, yeah. Just spend the money anyway. Yeah.
no, I mean anywhere. Like in that city that is crazy how expensive everything is.
Oh yeah, man. So you've been to Scheveningen before?
Yeah.
I've been there like 2 times or something. It's a shame it's so far away from where I live because it's quite cool actually with the long boulevard and and all the beach and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's very not. I always feel like when I'm there, I don't feel like I'm at the Netherlands, sort of. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Because it's so different with like the long beaches and the boulevards. It's like a mini holiday.
It's
Cute town.
like Los Angeles.
LA in the Netherlands, yeah. So have you actually ever used like Airbnb for holidays or something like that?
No, actually, no, but
Really?
I always wanted, but my parents are not really don't really want to rely on this.
Okay, right. I
So
get
I
it.
guess the trust factor is not that high for them. But for expenses, I would definitely
It's
recommend it
amazing,
for
man.
everybody.
Yeah, I've used it once myself when I was on a different road trip, and we were staying at this campsite, and it was in Croatia actually, I think. Yeah, it was in Croatia, and
Yeah,
we were there, and we had a tent with us, and I figured, if we had a tent, we could go to campsites pretty cheap on a road trip, and just, it's all about just spending the night. The road trip, it's not about the campsite and the pools and stuff. So we just had a tent with us, and we put the tent down, and the campsite was, I think, like 60, nah, like 80 euros per night, I think total. So it wasn't too bad, split by two people. But then
But that's still a lot, I
yeah,
think.
it's still very expensive, but you know it was the high season. There were lots of people. It was in Croatia, and eventually it was 40 euros per person for just a night. So we figured might as well because we booked the place up front, like a couple of weeks up front, because we knew it was going to be very busy and there wasn't going to be any place available if we just got there. So I think that's why the prices are that high because they would be full anyway, booked. But yeah, we got there and it was so warm, bro. Croatia in the summer, it's insane, man. It's so warm there, and we had the tent, so we were already looking, like we didn't want to actually sleep there because it got so warm in the tent, like an oven. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna sleep in this tent in this weather. It's too warm. So I looked on Airbnb, and I'd never used Airbnb before. So I thought, you know, might as well have a look. So I looked at it, and there was a studio apartment like half an hour away from us, and it costed 100 euros per night total. So that's only 10 euros per person extra for the night in like a studio with a shower, air conditioning, a king size bed, a kitchen, everything from Airbnb. So I was like, all right,
Yeah,
fuck
that's
this
amazing.
campsite. I'm gonna go to the I'm gonna go to the reception right now and say that we're not gonna stay here for 3 nights. We're gonna leave right now.
Yeah.
So just cancel everything. We're moving. We're leaving. So we packed up everything again and we drove to the Airbnb, which was about like a half-hour drive or something, pretty close. And we got there. And it was a really nice studio, owned by like a woman in her mid 40s, I think. And she rented it out because she said during the winter her daughter lived there in the studio, and during the summer they just rented it
Okay.
out via Airbnb. So they were earning some extra money, and we had a really nice place to sleep. So Airbnb really helped us and it helped her, so it was a really good system. And we had an amazing night there because, you know, air conditioning and a really nice bed. So I definitely I'm gonna use Airbnb more and more for stuff like that.
Yeah, I,
It's
I can imagine. I mean, I think everybody needs to like get familiar with
mm,
this kind of thing,
definitely, yeah,
that they don't rent the things, or they don't book it through like hotels that they have, reputation and
true.
reviews and everything, but they have to like trust a little bit more to, I mean, on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a company too, but I get it, you know, like hotels
yeah,
are
yeah,
very
it's a company, but
established
it's same
businesses.
as Uber.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
I definitely get that, but I've also had some, you know, experiences with hotels where I'm like,
Yeah.
where you paid like a couple, like 100 euros, for example, for a night, and you get there, and I always read the reviews up hand because I want to know what hotels I'm going to go to, and people are very happy about the hotel, blah blah blah, and I get there, and it's a shit hotel. You know, it
they
happens
just
as
bought,
well.
they just bought the reviews from Iran.
Yeah, exactly. Just paid some
Or
people to
from Pakistan.
put the reviews down. Yeah. So it can go both ways, and I mean with Airbnb you have like hosts, and you can put reviews on hosts, and
Okay.
there's super hosts that Airbnb sort of supports. You know, like
Fix. Yeah.
yeah. So it's a good system, but for occasional use it's pretty handy. But yeah, you know, with the reviews, sometimes people pay for it. So what have you been up to lately, man? You got any projects running? Any work you're doing?
Actually, I have.
Really?
It's nice that
You're
you
being
asked me
productive
this.
in the quarantine.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
That's
at least I try to.
yeah.
It's really hard,
Mhm.
because I always procrastinate,
Amen to
uh,
that.
and things like that. Yeah, but actually, what I'm doing right now is there is a website called Fiverr,
Oh yeah, I know that. Yeah.
which is a place, like a website for, in order to provide your freelance services to anybody in the world,
Okay.
and
So it's like a
you can basically just, sorry.
it's like a platform where, for example, if I make really nice origami paper planes, I could go on that platform and say like, hey, for $5, I'll make a personal paper plane for you or something. Very
Um,
basic, but like I offers my service on that platform for someone else to use.
I mean, this could work if you teach them how to do that, because
Okay.
because I mean, of course, you can send that to somebody, but it's more likely. on like services that you can deliver
So
like
it's
as
not
a file, you
really as
know?
a physical thing, but more like
Yeah,
knowledge
it's
or data or
yeah,
reports and
something
okay.
something on the internet that is not tangible, you know,
Yeah.
in that. So, for example, you can do like video editing, logo creation. You
Hmm.
can, or there are also people who selling marketing
I
strategies,
think I've
business
actually
strategies.
I think I've actually looked at that. Yeah, because in one of my projects on school, we had to make like this report or something, and I just could not figure out how to do it. I had so much trouble with it. So I just Googled it, right? And I got on Fiverr, and there were tons of people just offering the service to create these financial reports and marketing reports and anything you needed for school. You could just pay people on Fiverr to do it for you. And
And they do everything,
yeah,
and the
man,
thing is that it's really cheap.
it's very cheap, and they would even put in the description of their services like we'll provide all the sources used. There will be no copying. Everything is 100% originally created for you. So it's a bit shady, in a way like I don't know how legit your report
Sketchy.
is. Yeah, sketchy, but it's still an amazing service for freelancers, like you said, with video editing and stuff.
Yeah, but actually there are several people who actually can make a living out of this place, and they are selling like several of their gigs, as they call,
Yeah,
um, daily. So, and they can earn up to, I don't know, even like thousands of euros, because
yeah, I get it.
now there is no limitation on how much it can be.
Hmm.
Um,
But can you, for example, also apply as a company? Like, not really a company, but for example, if I apply my services on Fiverr as, okay, I build financial reports for you, whatever. Do I necessarily have to do them myself, or could I, for example, hire a team of people to make those reports so I could do way more gigs on Fiverr, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I think you can, but you're still gonna be as an individual. But
Yeah,
I mean, you can put in the name, the company name,
yeah,
for
that's
example.
true.
But
So,
I don't know. I don't think so.
are you on Fiverr?
I am.
So, and what do you do then?
Yeah, so I'm actually started recently, like 1 or 2 weeks ago, and my main genre is is content creation. So actually,
Ah,
what we are doing right now, and what I'm also doing for Central Perk,
nice.
um, just creating content, video editing, these kind of things. Um, yeah, but since I'm pretty new and I don't have reviews, it's really hard to actually
Oh yeah, I
get
bet.
people to know you.
And the
Yeah,
people
but
that are earning thousands of dollars and making it a full-time job, they probably have
yeah,
like
yeah, but
thousands of
they
reviews as
are
well.
on this website for like for 3 to 4 years,
Yeah.
something.
I mean, if they work hard at it, then good on them.
Yeah, sure, sure. But yeah, I'm also uh, probably
I'll put
on
some
that
reviews down for you on different names. Amazing guy. Oh, he's so handsome. He's so strong. 5 stars. He's so honest.
path. Actually, there are some people who actually pay, to somebody who
Yeah, I bet.
like
Yeah, it works.
purchases
It
their
works.
review. And also there are several people on YouTube who also suggest this way to start your like your work and
I
your
bet, man.
career,
I
that
bet.
that actually like make your let's say like family buy a gig,
Yeah.
like for the first a few times, and then after you have like, let's say, 3 or 4 or 5 like good reviews,
Yeah.
then obviously more people, like random people, is also gonna trust you more. So
Yeah, I can imagine. Because the same for me, if I want a guy to create content for my channel, for example, or to post on my business page or whatever, I'd rather get a guy with 5 reviews that says he's amazing than a guy that started 2 weeks ago with 0 reviews. And
yeah,
that's nothing personal. That's just business.
yeah, all the yeah. But I mean, in the description, I always say, I have the experience. I just started.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that I can't do that good of work. than
Do
somebody else.
you, for example, put references, or do you have a portfolio or something on your page, or how does that work?
So it works like you can create a video
Hmm.
for your gig,
Okay,
what they can review before they purchase your service, and
like a
basically in
demo,
that,
sort of.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Okay,
basically in that video, it can be like up to 75 seconds
oh, that's good.
or like 50 megabytes.
Yeah, basically a
So
commercial, sort of, for your
so it's
services.
it's really short, but in there you can put your portfolio, what you made previously. So there I put some of my previous works as well. So
Oh yeah, okay, I get it, I get it. That's cool, man. So that's something you really want to do as well as a profession, content creation and stuff.
yeah, yeah, I really enjoy this kind of stuff. So
Nice.
yeah, doing what I do in Central Park.
That's true.
That's
Yeah,
a
that's also.
that's a good thing and a good start, for me.
And do you also have like certain, because you're doing content creation, like for example posts and stuff like that. But that's a market, so to speak, that's changing constantly, 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 very fast. Do you try to keep up with like information and trends and stuff like that, or do you more or less do it on like how you feel about it?
I mean, it's always about the customer.
Hmm.
So I'm just always asking, like, what is your idea? How do you imagine the post? So I mean, of course, I do some suggestions and things like that,
Yeah,
but it's mostly about what they ask me to do.
that's true. It's just a service. Yeah. Video editing. What do you use for video editing?
Premiere Pro.
Premiere Pro. Psh, I use Sony Vegas. Sony Vegas Master Race. No, I'm just kidding. I think you've actually mentioned that to me before. Like, why are you using Sony Vegas, man? Use Premiere Pro. It's much
Yeah,
better.
that's so old. That's so old. Yeah.
Probably, man. But I'm just an old man. I'm stuck in my ways. I can't change
Yeah,
now.
but now actually I came across to another service, or not a service, but a program,
Hmm.
DaVinci Resolve. I don't know if you
I think
know
I've
that.
heard of it. Yeah, but it's also,
It's the same editing software
isn't this
as
free?
Cinemabless. Sorry?
Is it free or paid?
Is it? Is it? Is it? Is it?
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but it's really interesting that because now I meet with a lot of people who's saying that they started to use this program, and even though it's free, it's still really good, and it's competitive against
Okay.
Premiere Pro even so.
The problem I just have is these programs. In order to do something, you have to learn so much.
Exactly.
Just
And I'm so used to Premiere Pro that I don't
yeah,
want to change.
and that's what I have in Sony Vegas. I'm so used to Sony Vegas for like the last couple of years. I've been using it, and I can finally do what I want to do. If I have, like for
And
example,
fast,
yeah,
right? That's
exactly.
also
Yeah,
important.
that's very important. And I've been editing like my gameplay videos of games for a couple of years, just as a personal photo album, I guess. Some games I used to play and some nice kills I had or something. I always recorded that and then I edited them. And I remember I started way, way, way back, like years ago when I was 12 or 13. I
You
was
are you are an OG.
Hell yeah, yeah, man. OG video making. I used to make stunt videos on Grand Theft Auto Vice City with a friend of mine.
Okay.
Because I remember on Grand Theft Auto Vice City, you had this replay button, which would sort of um, the last 30 seconds of what you just did, it would do a replay of it, but you could control the camera. So if we did a cool stunt, we could just press the replay button and we could film the stunt. And we were using fraps. I don't know if you know
I
fraps.
of course. That's amazing.
Yeah, man, we used like the old free fraps, so you could only record for like 1 minute every shot. So we were doing the
But
best we
that was
could.
enough, right?
It was enough, exactly. And we were using Windows Movie Maker, the terrible old program. And we would have these very cool Linkin Park music in the background while we were doing these stunts. And it was just what we were doing as kids. And I always loved making these highlight reels, of cool stuff we did. And it always stuck around with me. And then I started doing it on different games and started getting better at it. And um, editing videos then I downloaded Sony Vegas. I mean, I purchased Sony Vegas, and I put my clips in it. And if I wanted to do something like a cool transition or a panning the camera or whatever, I would just YouTube it. You know, how do I do this? How do I do that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the last couple of years, I've been slowly building my skill set by just YouTubing whatever I want to need. So that's why I just can't switch from Sony Vegas anymore because I'm so used to it and I know it and I don't want to learn an entire program again like, Premiere
Yeah.
Pro.
I mean, that's the same with me. Actually, I downloaded the program Resolve,
hmm
but and even they have like a keyboard shortcut that you can set basically which program are you coming from,
Yeah,
you
okay.
know. So they actually make the
Oh,
shortcut like
so
what you
they
used
mimic
to.
the layout from the other program.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, that's
but
clever.
bro, but it doesn't work. Believe me, it doesn't work.
Wha-
I mean, I tried it
well, okay.
and it's not the same. So,
Shame.
and I've watched some forums as well, and they are also saying that it's really far from perfect, and you should actually like type in yourself, like
Yeah.
individually, this do that and this kind of thing.
Okay.
So, yeah,
But
I
I
don't really
guess
have the
for
time
you,
for
if you
things.
wanna, if like you're on Fiverr and you want to do this for as a living, I guess as an end goal, making content and stuff,
Yeah.
you have to, you really have to teach yourself these programs and like Adobe Premiere. But can you do everything you want to do with Adobe Premiere? Like what you wanted to do now, like editing and everything. Because
Yeah,
if
yeah. Yeah.
yeah, then there's no real need for you to change, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course, that also has some advantages because what they say that that Resolve program works more with longer footages,
hmm
so it doesn't crash. For example, if you put in like
Okay.
several hours of footage.
Man, Sony Vegas crashes all the time.
You see, yeah,
All the time, and I've had it so many times where I'm editing a video and it's like 12 o'clock at night and you're in the zone, you know what I mean? You're just editing and you're in it and it just crashes and I'm like, oh shit, when was the last time I saved? And everything's
yeah,
gone. And
yeah.
oh, it's the
I mean,
worst.
that's why. I mean, okay, Premiere Pro doesn't really crash on me like really regularly, but I'm constantly on Control S, Control S, Control
Yeah,
S.
me too now. I learned my lesson. I'm saving all the time, man. I've actually had to. I had this video with like a couple of highlights, and I actually finished it in I think 2 or 3 hours or something. I just edited it real fast. But in those 2 and 3 hours, I saved it a, like 100 times on the same file, and it actually crashed like 10 times or something. It was insane. But I finished the video and I got it done, even though it
Yeah,
crashed all the time.
yeah. You see, that's why it's not really
Yeah. I
reliable.
mean,
So
yeah, I probably have to change, but it's just a hobby of mine, and I don't do it as much anymore. And usually, what I edit, yeah, I can finish it in like an hour because it's just a couple of highlights, in a row and some basic editing. But well, it's fun hobby. I also I've been editing like what I've been doing as well is what I just mentioned with the road trip with my friends and RV and stuff. I actually filmed a lot during that road trip, and I made a 45-minute sort of documentary home video kind of thing, and I uploaded on YouTube. And I
okay, that's cool. That's
that's
cool.
the longest video I've ever edited and made and stuff. And when I was done with it, I invited all my friends over from the road trip, and we all watched it together as a premiere. That was really cool. So then you really get to see the fruits of your labor, if you know what I mean. That
Yeah,
people are
yeah,
enjoying the content that you make.
yeah. I mean, if you have the motivation, then you can work on a lot of things, even
Yeah,
though it may be a difficult thing and takes a long time. But
yeah. If you enjoy making it, freaking
yeah,
do it, and might as well earn some money on Fiverr.
hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. Yeah, we'll do some do some check-ins, on how your Fiverr business is going. I
Definitely.
think the most difficult part is with any platform nowadays, really. If it's YouTube, if it's Instagram, if it's Fiverr, or even Airbnb. I think the beginning is so difficult. Like
Yeah.
on YouTube, I think you've actually mentioned it once to me that um, it's so much easier to go from like 100,000 subscribers to a million than from zero subscribers to like 10,000 or 5,000.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
So you're gonna be grinding, my boy. Grinding,
Yeah,
grinding, grinding.
hopefully, definitely.
Dope, man. Yeah, and I think with that we've come to the end of this podcast. I think some technical talk, some holiday talk, some cocktail talk.
It was great. It was
It
great.
was good, man. And
We are definitely getting into this
yeah, I
podcasting
think we're
thing.
getting more comfortable with it ourselves. It's easy to talk. I mean, the subjects are completely random, but we have
Yeah,
subjects and we're talking. And I mean, I enjoy the subjects, and you enjoy the subjects, and
yeah, yeah,
we can
yeah.
talk about anything. So I wonder how the next episodes are going to look like. We can all only know. And I think the coolest thing would be if, like, for example, if we get to a 20 episodes or something, and then just look at the first 2 or 3 episodes and the last couple, and just see what changed, And I can't wait to look at that.
That's gonna be an amazing journey for sure.
A 20 episode anniversary episode, 100 episodes, 1,000 episodes. Joe Rogan, here we come. All right, man. It was awesome speaking to you, and
Amazing.
we'll see you
Take
guys in
care.
the next episode.
Take care. Bye bye.